Welcome back, everyone. It's the Bourbon Judge. Hey, we're back at it again, ready to have some fun. I've been waiting for this episode because I think we all heard. Breaking news. There is no George T. Stagg for 2021. I know. Lots of tears from the Bourbon Judge. Lots of tears. I'm sure there's a lot of babies out there crying. A lot of moms and dads who love George T. Stagg are out there crying as well. I know, folks, it is sad. It's breaking news. It's sad. But hey, I'm going to help you. I'm going to give you 8 different bourbons that, let's just call them, they're substitutes for George T. Stagg. There's going to be a blend of, different price points, some more expensive, some a bit more reasonable. But they're all going to be a couple things. Number one, affordable. Well, I should say affordable. They're going to be at different price points. They're going to be, let's call them probably cheaper than regular George T. Stagg, which typically, if you find it, that is typically off, like secondary is $600, $700, $800, $900, maybe even $1,000 or $2,000 in different stores. So these are going to be ones that you can actually find. You might have to do a little bit of hunting for them, but you can definitely find them either in some stores and or online at different, online stores like Stillbox and so forth, as well as these are ones that are going to be, again, different price points. So anywhere from like $60, $70 up to even like $200, right? But again, at least they're not $1,000 or $2,000 like sometimes like George T. Stagg is. So, and then last but not least, which is probably most important, these are all going to be ones that they're going to either be barrel proof, foolproof, and or just ones that really just pack a nice solid punch. So there's no bottled and bond here. There's no small batches in here. These are all going to be like 110, maybe 115 proof north. All right. It's the winter, baby. Almost. Hey, no, it's still fall. It's still fall. But we need something with a nice little kick to it. All right. Before we get started, I do need, let's just call it 3 quick and easy favors. Number 1, please hit the like button. Number 2, drop me a comment. You guys know I love going back and forth. Always enjoy replying to all the comments. Always a blast. And last but not least, please make sure you also hit the subscribe button. I've actually had a blast over, I think it's like the last few weeks. I ran a couple different contests for my patrons. So I've been able to, have a couple different contests. We've had a lot of fun with it. People guessing different things. I recently gave away some bourbon to a couple of different people. So that was pretty cool. So the Bourbon Judge community, I love all my patrons. Thanks again for all the support. And your bourbon is in the mail, and hopefully you'll be enjoying the bourbon that I sent to you guys and gals. All right. 8 bourbons to get into, plus an asterisk. I'm an asterisk kind of a guy. I know. All right. I'm going to give you 8. And I'm going to tell you the reason why as well. And if I did reviews on them, I'll try to put at least the reviews for like at least 5 of them. I'll put the link up above as well. So let's start off with, well, we can go right here. Elijah Craig Barrel Proof. I mean, when you want to talk about a barrel proof bourbon that really actually competes with George T. Stagg, or at least Stagg Jr., but in that same George T. Stagg kind of realm, this, a Heaven Hill product, definitely competes with like a George T. Stagg. I mean, it just has everything. It has those deep, beautiful notes, very deep, very thick, very just traditional caramel, brown sugar, and always packs a nice punch. We're still waiting for the C version to come out this year. I can't wait. I know we're all looking for it. But honestly, any Elijah Craig Barrel Proof that you grab, that you find, even if you find an older one on the shelf from like last year, it doesn't matter. If you find an Elijah Craig Barrel Proof, this, in my opinion, is one damn good substitute. I like that bottle a lot. All right, that's number 1. Let's keep going, Bourbon Judge. Keep going. All right, number 2. I'm going to go with, might as well stick in the Buffalo Trace family. Now, this one, it might require a bit more hunting, right? And it might even be a couple $100 normal MSRP is only, and I should call that out too. MSRP for the Elijah Craig is only $70. MSRP for 70-ish for a Weller Foolproof is also about $70. Now, granted, we all know, unfortunately, many liquor stores, not all though, not all, let's keep it real, many liquor stores choose to do the bad thing of marking things up where it's like slightly unaffordable, or they're just way marked up more than what they should be. So this is a $70 bottle. I will say, if you find it, more than likely, unfortunately, it might be $150, $200, but It's a full proof, right? Comes in at 114 proof, 114 proof. It packs a nice punch. It's a Buffalo Trace product, right? So it's in that same kind of family, right, as George T. Stagg, because it does come from Buffalo Trace as a whole. I'm not saying it's exactly Stagg, but you get my drift, right? This is a great product, one that I definitely love, and I'm almost done with my open bottle of Weller Full Proof, and I'm about to crack that bad boy open pretty soon. All right, that was number 2. Coming in number 3, slightly more from a price standpoint, but you can always find these on the shelf, which I like a lot, and I should thank them for always producing great bourbon at a phenomenal price point. Bardstown Bourbon Company. This is the Discovery Series number 4, coming in at 115 proof. This is a hell of a deal. I think it's like $110 bottle, depending on where you live, right? It's always going to vary a little bit based off of where you live, but $110 bottle. The proof is 115 proof. Always packs a nice solid punch. Not saying it's exactly similar to George T. Stagg again, but it is a great higher proof bourbon. And honestly, I have all of the Discovery Series. Each and every one has always been legit. So if you're looking for one that's easier to find on the shelf, this is definitely probably one of the easier ones to find on the shelf. Maybe a couple stores, but at least you will find it. 3 down, 5 to go. Woo! All right. So I'm going to throw a little bit of a curveball in here. A slight curveball, just down the middle, but it's going to curve. All right. So this one, not 1910, not 1920, not bottled and bond. This is a store pick. If you can find a store pick, I'm telling you, it's one of the best kept secrets. Look for store picks, folks. This is a store pick of an Old Forester single barrel at barrel strength. They obviously were released. Many different states, different stores have their own store pick of Old Forester barrel picks. My version, my local shop has one. This one here comes in, you want to talk about close to a traditional George T. Stagg proof point. This is 134.5 proof. Brown Foreman, they know what they're doing. This, from a palate standpoint, in my opinion, is very similar to that George T. Stagg. Very deep brown sugar, orange peel, leather, very smoky and fiery. This is a fantastic bottle. It honestly, I think this only cost me like $70 or $75. Again, you may or may not be able to find this at your local shop, but hopefully if you call around, find out, check your local Facebook groups, more than likely somewhere in your area, one of your stores either has, or maybe a friend has, a bottle that they're even willing to share some sips with you. Now, those are the good friends. This is definitely worth picking up. An Old Forester single barrel strength. I wish I would have bought 2 bottles of that, but I only bought 1. All right, I don't want to be greedy, right? I want to be greedy. I don't want to be that guy, so I share. So that's that. All right, 4 down, 4 to go. Whew. All right. This one, I know everyone loves this bourbon. And every time I do, gosh, any episode related to like barrel proof, everyone always calls out, Bourbon Judge, why did you not include X? So I'm including it today. All right, here we go. Wild Turkey Rare Breed. $52 bottle. Coming in here at 116.8 proof. I mean, Wild Turkey Rare Breed. You can obviously tell I love this bottle a lot. I'm sorry I didn't include it the last time. I had to buy a new one. But I'm definitely enjoying it. I mean, great quality, easily available. You don't have to search a lot. I mean, you can go to a couple stores. You should be able to find Wild Turkey Rare Breed. Great quality, great product out of the Wild Turkey Distillery. Every day, all day. If this is not in your lineup, you are missing something. You need to have this in your collection no matter what. All right, and $55. I think I said earlier. I said it was gonna be like $70 was like the minimum threshold. 55, folks. Come on, come on. All right, 3 to go. Woo! And the asterisk. George T. Stagg replacements. 5 down, 3 to go. All right. Now we're going to get a little pricey here, right? Now we got to go a little fancy. You got to get a little fancy here, as Cousin Anita would say. Getting all fancy on me. You can find it. You guys know I love myself some Old Carter. Oh, I love some Old Carter. If you can find Old Carter, I highly recommend that you grab one of their bottles of bourbon, regardless what batch you had. I personally have never had a bad batch of Old Carter, so I don't care what batch you get, as long as you find a bottle. Now again, this one is going to be a little bit more pricey and a little bit harder to find. You might even have an easier time finding it online from like Sealbox, or I say Sealbox a lot, but there's other places like Bourbon Outfitter and so forth. So there are different places. Even some of your local stores, they might even sell it online where you have to go pick it up, or they might ship it to you. But Old Carter, it's the truth. I don't care what anyone says. It is the truth. Every single one that I have is always phenomenal. Again, a little bit more pricey. They come in about $200. Again, depending on what store you go to, maybe online, they may charge an extra $50 or $75, so it might be $250 or $275. But honestly, if you were willing to pay for a George T. Stagg, odds are, unless you were getting George T. Stagg at MSRP, which 99.9% of us typically can't get, even sometimes including myself, like my George T. Stagg from last year, I had to buy it marked up. I think it was like $220, which wasn't horribly marked up, but again, it was basically the same price as Old Carter. So I was spending $220 on that, spend $220 on this. OC. I like that. OC. All right. 2, 4, 6. 6 down, 2 to go. And the asterisk. So what's coming in number 7 and number 8? And these are not in order, by the way. These are just solid options that I think pack a punch, great quality, and you can always buy with confidence. All right. This took me a long time to pull the trigger on and really fall in love with this whiskey. So this is not a bourbon. It's a Tennessee whiskey. So I'm going to call that out because I know everyone's going to say, well, Bourbon Judge is not a bourbon. It's close enough, right? Jack Daniel's single barrel proof whiskey. This is some damn good juice. I am telling you, I have a couple bottles of this. This is actually a store pick from my local shop. But even though it's not a store pick, I mean, there are many of them out there you can find that are not store picks. You can find this pretty easily, $60 or $65 bottle all day long. Great quality. This one here comes in at, what? 130.7 proof. Now, obviously, it's a Tennessee whiskey, so it's going to sip completely different. They're not completely, but much different than George T. Stagg. But it's a great barrel proof bourbon that packs a great punch. And even though it's not a antique collection, it's a great bottle that you can enjoy by yourself, and you can, hopefully you're enjoying it with some good friends, because this whole bourbon thing is so that you can actually enjoy it with friends. All right, that's number 7. Rounding it out, oh man, at number 8. Rounding it out at number 8. Now, this one is one that is actually slightly below my 115 proof threshold. But I included it only for 2 reasons. Number 1, it's a weeder. And number 2, even though it might be 110.3 proof, it sips like 125, in my opinion. In my opinion only. So I had to include Maker's Mark 46. I know there's also the FAE that's coming out as well, but Maker's Mark 46 cask strength, I think, hands down, all day, is a damn good bottle. $65-ish, $60-ish. Some places maybe even a little bit cheaper. Readily, easily available. You're not going to too many stores. There's such great quality bourbon out there, folks. I know. We all love antique collection. We all love Buffalo Trace products. I get it. But this is something that, again, different palate, obviously completely different than George T. Stagg from a palate standpoint, but is a great, fantastic Kentucky bourbon. Packs a hell of a punch. In my opinion, sips way hotter than 110 proof, and also just damn good. Just good. So, you might ask, Bourbon Judge, well, what's the asterisk? The asterisk should be a no-brainer for everyone. Duh. If you can't find George T. Stagg, I hope you can at least try to find Stagg Jr. Batch 16 just came out. I just found Batch 16 myself. It's coming out, obviously, as I said in one of my previous episodes, when things are released, they are released at different times. So what might come out here in like the Northeast might not come out until next month in Texas or Florida or California or wherever you may live. So definitely be on the lookout for Stagg Junior Batch 16. Honestly, I've been out there hunting here and there. You will actually even still find Batch 15, Batch 14 on the shelves in some very remote, very slim, right? But you will find them. Mrs. Judge found me an extra old Batch 14 like 3 or 4 weeks ago. They are out there. They're just, random places, but you can definitely find them. So if you can't find George T. Stagg, baby, find Stagg Junior. We're at the end of the road, but you guys know there's no way the Bourbon Judge is ending a review without sipping some bourbon, right? That would just be uncalled for, uncivilized. Alright, let me go ahead and dive into one of these. I gotta dive into one. Whew. In theory, because this is technically a George T. Stagg episode, well, George T. Stagg replacements, I should dive into Stagg Junior. But I'm not gonna go there because that's the easy option. I'm gonna go for one of these two that packs a hell of a punch and are delicious. Woo! Wild Turkey Rare Breed and Old Forester Barrel Stream. This is just heaven, heaven, heaven. Heaven. Alright, I want to go with this Old Forester. This single barrel store pick, this packs a hell of a punch. I'm still kicking myself that I did not buy a second bottle of this. I don't know what I was thinking. Sometimes the Bourbon Judge, I walk into a shop and I'm like, I'm happy to get one. I always try to be polite because I want to share with others, as I mentioned earlier with my patrons, always trying to share whiskey and bourbon with others. But I wish if I could go back in time, I would have bought a second bottle of this. But it's okay. It's okay. Somebody else got an extra bottle because I didn't. So that's what it's all about. Hey, I say this each and every week. You guys know me and gals. Peace. Cheers. Salute. I appreciate each and every one of you out there. Talk to you guys and gals soon. Later. Peace. Woo! Damn! Hey, Mojo. That's how you sip some bourbon, baby. Peace, everyone. Later.